The first thing Kagali understood, before fear, before strategy, before regret, was scale. The castle did not merely rise around her, it asserted itself. Stone and light conspired to make every corridor feel deliberate, every arch an accusation. She had once believed she understood grandeur. She had built palaces meant to inspire reverence, meant to dwarf those who entered them. But this place rendered those efforts almost childish. Memory betrayed her, reshaping her past accomplishments into something small and fragile. Even the royal palace of her distant youth, once the axis of her world, now looked like a crude imitation of power. "It's wonderful," she murmured, not intending to be heard. "Of course it is. This is the home of Lord Veldanava." The reply startled her. Zarario had spoken without ceremony, without pride, as though stating a simple fact of nature. Rain falls, fire burns. This is Veldanava's home. Kagali recalibrated her understanding of him in that instant. Perhaps he was not as sealed off as she assumed. Or perhaps conversation, to him, carried no emotional cost at all. They arrived at their destination shortly after. The room felt wrong in a way palaces never should. It was sterile, bright, and precise, a laboratory masquerading as sanctum. Two massive cultivation tanks dominated the chamber, glass walls humming faintly with restrained power. Figures moved around one of them with ritual efficiency, 5 mystics whose postures spoke of absolute obedience. Inside the tank floated a human-shaped form, suspended, incomplete, unsettlingly familiar. It took Kagali only a second to recognize it. Vega, or rather, a perfect replica. Same build, same silhouette, same latent malice, even in stillness. The staff turned as one when Zarario entered, bowing deeply. Their reverence was instinctive, unthinking. One stepped forward to speak, voice steady, face calm. "Welcome back, Sir Zarario." This was Dalis, genderless in essence, male in form by long habit. A relic of Zarario's earlier era, when cherubs still believed form was a choice worth making. Zarario acknowledged him with a nod and wasted no time. "The project's hereby cancelled." "Yes, sir. No questions, no hesitation." The words landed like an execution order, and yet the room did not tense. This was normal. Zarario's decisions were treated as axioms. Angels did not debate truth, they aligned to it. It was the flaw baked into their creation, and Zarario knew it better than anyone. "I went through all the trouble of granting all of you names," he continued mildly. "Now I'm not sure the benefits were worth it." Dalis stiffened, fear flickering through him like a fault in crystal. "I'm very sorry, sir. Are we at fault in any way?" "No, nothing like that. Surely I was just expecting too much." That was the extent of it. No anger, no disappointment. Zarario evaluated outcomes, not intentions. Projects were not loved, they were assessed. The angels under him understood this at a fundamental level, which was why Dalis's terror was so profound. To fail emotionally was irrelevant. To fail functionally was unforgivable. Orders rippled outward. Tanks powered down. Assistants moved. Gnome and Barun obeyed. Nice coordinated. Bame and Sana assisted. Names had given them shape, yes, edges, preferences, proto-selves, but not enough. Not enough to prevent corruption. Not enough to stop Vega's cells from whispering hunger into angelic minds. Zarario watched it all with distant clarity. Naming had been an experiment, ego as armor. It had failed. His thoughts turned inward, precise and unsentimental. Vega's body had been a promising base, strong, adaptable. But even the cells were rotten. The Walking Dead were the only viable alternative now. 9 vessels, carefully prepared. Enough for the top hierarchy. No more. Armageddon would come eventually. Michael would see to that. Power would be concentrated, refined, reborn as seraphim. The Walking Dead were reserved for that future. "I'll speak to Feldway later." He turned to leave. The sound of shattering glass detonated through the room. Wait! God damn it!" The tank exploded outward, fragments scattering like ice. Vega emerged screaming, laughing, furious, alive. His eyes locked instantly onto Gnome. "How dare you rip my arm off like that? It's you, right? I'm taking it back." No one moved fast enough. Vega seized Gnome, fingers sinking in, flesh unraveling. The fusion was immediate, violent, irreversible. In seconds, Gnome was gone, absorbed, consumed, erased. "Ooh, this is delicious. This power, it's coursing through me." Magicules surged. Vega trembled with ecstasy. "Ka ha ha! I could take on any of you bastards right now." His bravado died the instant his gaze met Zarario's. Silence. A single question hung unspoken between them. "Fight or submit?" "I've heard about you," Vega said quickly, grin tightening. "So what'll it be? Friends? His answer followed without delay. Heh, sorry, got carried away. I'm taking your orders. Of course. Pathetic, predictable. Zarario felt no disappointment. Gnome's loss was unfortunate, but his sentience had already degraded. Feeding his power to Vega was efficient. Tools that dulled themselves were better repurposed. Kagali watched all this with a knot in her chest. Vega was a monster, obvious and crude. Zarario tolerated him anyway. Worse, he did not even seem wary. Does he not see the danger? She wondered. No. He did. He simply did not consider it relevant. Those who served Zarario were instruments, slightly useful ones at best. This was not arrogance. It was accuracy. The audience chamber later confirmed it. The throne stood empty, untouched by centuries. Michael sat closest to it. Feldway loomed nearby, expression carved from irritation. Dino attended. The walking dead were present. Obella arrived, Oma beside her, scarred, altered, terrifying. Insectors filled the space with alien authority. Zaranis presided over them like a living plague god, his generals standing without deference. Power compressed the air. Plans were announced. Interrupted. Corrected. Velgrin still lived. Cornu was gone. Feldway recalculated in real time, irritation hardening into resolve. Dragons were priorities. Veldanava's resurrection eclipsed all else. Velzard would be recruited. Veldora delayed. Bodies were needed. Vessels. Walking dead. Zarario spoke plainly. Angels below cherub rank were weak-willed. They would break. They were not worth the vessels. Worthless? Feldway supplied. Yes. No one argued. Decisions crystallized. Zarario, Obella, others of proven will. Kagali listened, heart racing. She was surplus, disposable, until Feldway addressed her directly. Ah, Kagali, what are your plans? She braced herself, asked for freedom. Granted. Just like that. The shock was worse than refusal. Yuki would not be released. Mammon was too valuable. Kagali understood. Survival narrowed her options brutally. The world above would burn. There would be no refuge. Only power preserved meaning now. So she asked, for a walking dead body, for a seraphim, for dominion if that was the price. Michael accepted. Control for power. No betrayal. The ritual followed. Egon installing ego. Wills clashed, merged, erased. Zarario woke to flesh. Obella proved herself immutable. Others changed. Names resurfaced. Grudges endured. Promises carried across worlds. 8 awoke. 1 slept.